Let's talk about legal and regulatory requirements in cybersecurity. Um, Governments and regulatory bodies have established different cybersecurity laws and regulations, and this lesson we're going to focus on these laws and regulations and how they impact our organization and how important compliance is. Now we have various laws and regulations. And these laws would affect you depending on your location, your industry, and the type of data that the business handles. And it's not only dependent on your location, but it depends on the locations of your customers as well. So even if you're based in the US, for instance, if you have customers based in the US, in the EU, you would also have to adhere to the GDPR and any regulations that the EU imposes. So let's explore some of the common ones. We have the GDPR. It's an EU regulation for safeguarding personal data and privacy, and it applies to organizations processing EU residents' data. So whether you're in the EU or not, if you're processing the data of EU residents, then it applies to you. And non-compliance can result in fines of up to 4% of a business's global annual revenue. HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and it has regulations and provisions for securing protected health information, or PHI, and it mandates specific security measures for healthcare entities that they have to follow, and non-compliance of this act leads to penalties and legal consequences. So the PCI DSS is another one, and it is a standard for securing the way business handles cardholder data that are used in transactions. And this is required for any organization processing credit card information. Well, PCI DSS itself isn't a law; it's just a standard that is agreed upon by the industry. Um, a lot of countries have financial regulators that require you to comply with this standard. So if you're in the financial business and you're handling cardholder information, then it's very likely that you would have to be compliant with this. And whether it's required by law or not, it has become an industry standard. You would be less competitive as a business if you were not compliant to this. So we have some cybersecurity laws. We have the California Consumer Privacy Act in the US, and it's California's law regarding the privacy rights of residents over their own data, and it applies to businesses handling California residents' data. We have CISA, the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act, and it's a US law encouraging information sharing when it comes to cyber threats, and it strengthens collective security defenses. We also have the CFAA, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. It's a US law prohibiting unauthorized computer access, and it makes any activities like malicious hacking and malware distribution criminal. And to stress the importance of compliance, it's of course affects the cybersecurity posture, and non-compliance to these regulations and laws can lead to fines, legal liabilities, and reputational damage. And adherence to these laws and regulations fosters trust among our customers, partners, and stakeholders. There are many examples of non-compliance, the impact that non-compliance has on businesses. There was an e-commerce platform that faced a data breach, and it was found that this was due to GDPR non-compliance, and this led to them being fined. Um, and of course, they lost some customer trust, and the process of recovery involved an entire like overhaul of their infrastructure and security measures. We also have a healthcare provider that faced legal action for not complying with the HIPAA, and they had to pay hefty fines and they faced legal consequences. Um, so they had to go back, revamp their policies, their access control, and the security training. So to conclude, cybersecurity laws have to evolve as the threats evolve, as technological capabilities evolve, and compliance helps safeguard our data and maintain trust. And this, if we embrace these requirements, we can enhance the protection of our sensitive information. Just to stress again, it's not to comply for the sake of compliance, but doing compliance in a way that would add value to the business and actually improve our security posture. Thanks for listening. We'll meet in the next lesson.